Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Cat's Cottage. I'm here this morning having my first cup of coffee. Please join me. Yesterday, everything went well for me. I went, to the dentist, and uh, that was the first time I'd had that type of cleaning on my teeth. I don't, you know, I think I had. To be honest, I wasn't one of those that went regular to have my teeth cleaned, so I didn't know a lot about, you know, cleaning teeth. And boy, that water was cold. I didn't, she asked me, was I having tooth pain and of any kind? I told her no, that only thing I was sensitive, and boy, was I sensitive to that water. Oh, I was about to ask her if I could have, if that was well water. That was so cold. But I got through it. You see, I've survived. And they didn't fill any empty spots. They just cleaned and measured, x-rayed, and measured my whole mouth. Gosh. Uh, and that's what it took, an hour. The cleaning wasn't anything. It was just the measuring my mouth. Um, but anyway, that's you know what they do. Uh, but when I left there, I saw some junk on the side of the road, and I told my husband, I said, you're not gonna get by this like you did last time. I said, I saw a pile of junk on the side of the road where they're cleaning out an old house. I said, and now pull over. He said, you know what? You're going to get me killed because there's no place to pull over. It's just a ditch. I said, well, pull in their driveway. They don't care. They won't care. But he wouldn't do that. He pulled over to the edge of the ditch, which when I got out of the truck, you know what I had to deal with climbing through there. Boy, that ground was soft. Anyway, I saw a corner cabinet, real old one. It's been jerked out of the wall. It was built in, and it was jerked out of the wall, so it's got some damage. And it's painted turquoise. So I drug that over to the truck. I said, I'm gonna do something here. And then I saw shutters after shutters stacked up high, an old tin that was rusted just perfect. He was like, no, no. As us people that like to make things out of junk, that was gold mine laying there. But I didn't get it. I left it. I thought, okay, maybe there's another person like me that's going to make something out of all those shutters and that rusted tin. So, but I did get the cabinet, and it's not much of a cabinet because it doesn't have a back, how those things are built in the wall. They're just shelves, and then they have a front. And it's really cute how it swirls around and stuff. But I'm going to, it's already painted turquoise, so I'm kind of going to leave it like that, to enjoy its age. And I'm going to see where I can use it in my yard, maybe under my overhang, porch place, and pile it up in there like I always do. But anyway, it'd be something to do. And then from there, I went to another store, and I'm looking for some whiskey barrels. Well, not whole ones, cut in half. And I know what they cost, so I was looking at maybe just buying one at a time, but they are unbelievable. And I really wanted the wood ones. I didn't really want those plastic things. Plastic ones are not going to be there for years. They're going to. But anyway, Uh, he went. I said, "You go." We backed the truck up. He just, "You go pay, and I'll wait." You know, because we're parked in a place we don't need to be. So I'll stay with the truck. He went inside and he come back out and he loaded one. We loaded one. I said, "Did anybody offer to come help you?" He's like, "Yeah, they said they'd be out in a little bit." Well, my husband's a heart patient, so I have to watch him doing his. I have to control him, not let him do a lot of lifting, and I have to do a lot of carrying and lifting, which is bad on me, I know. But anyway, I try to save him from strain, which he's not supposed to be straining. And but anyway, let me get to my story. Uh, he loaded one, and then I said, "You bought two? I told you I was going to, stretch it out so we wouldn't break the bank." And he's like, "No, um, she said they were 10 something a piece." And I said, "What? They don't. Nobody sells them for that." And she said, "Well, I asked her. I said, 'Are you sure? Look again.'" And she said, "Yes, 10.50 something a piece." And he said, "Well, if that's the case, give me two." And so we loaded a second one on. And so he got home and he couldn't quit talking about it. So I thought, well, should we just say we were blessed and we got a blessing of a good price? But we were so exhausted we couldn't go back. And so that's what we'll probably do today. Go and see. I don't want anybody to get fired or get in trouble for selling us a $65 barrel for $10. So anyway, we'll be going back to the store probably and making sure we don't owe them more money. You know, oh, we were on a credit card, so they could very well, say, "Hey, Mr. Thayer, you walked out of here, you know, paying $10 for something that cost 65." And I don't want that checkout girl to get. He said it was a girl that told him they were 10.50 something a piece. And anyway, we're going to go back and we're going to make sure that we didn't cheat the store or get that little girl in trouble. Um, you know, it'll play on your mind, even though you could think, "Oh, I got this at a good price," and but I don't want that on my conscience of that. Even though that store makes tons of money, that's not the way I look at it. It's, if you knew it didn't cost like that, it's sort of in a way of stealing. So uh, we'll probably go back and give them the rest of my money. I'll be broke, but that's okay. That's okay. I'll be broke. But it's my idea to buy them things. So, but anyway, that's what I'll be doing today. Now get on another subject. Um, we are having so much rain. What do y'all think about that? Unbelievable rain. And I know some of y'all are like, "Well, I'm not getting any rain." But when it stops raining here and it gets kind of drought like, y'all are into the rain. That's it. I've noticed that it's just the opposite. So I want y'all to take our rain, please. If I could move the rain down there to y'all or up there to y'all. And I can't believe you're up there in the Tennessee mountains and you're not getting the rain that I'm getting. I mean, it's coming down like the old words, cats and dogs here, you know. But I'm able to dart between the spouts of water, outside. But anyway, uh, yesterday, I went to 4 different stores and I couldn't find any lettuce seeds. Oh my gosh. I found one little pack and it was the only one left. And I thought, oh my goodness. So I have learned the lesson over and over again to buy your seeds early if they're in the store. It just, I couldn't hardly bring myself to buy them at $4, $5 a pack, you know. And inside the package, they don't even give you the whole flower. They'll give you just like 15 seeds, and there's more than that coming off a flower. Yeah, but anyway, couldn't find. So I thought, wow, this tower I'm working on is really becoming a problem. And so I moved it from the table because knew it would flip into the pond. I knew that, and I was trying to pretend it wouldn't. But anyway, I moved it from there to the other side, and I put it on top of this little skinny barrel that's kind of old and, you know, rotten. Not the wood, but the plastic. So I set it all on that plastic, and it's lightweight. It doesn't have water, plants, or anything. But when I start watering, it's going to get heavy. And so yesterday, I was thinking, you messed up again. Here you are. You fill that tower up, and here I've had it for years, never used it. Now I filled it up with dirt and bought dirt, and now I can't get it to settle nowhere. Can't get it to stay. It's going to break that little barrel thing up because it's kind of brittle. And I set it right on the top, and I thought, you got to move it again. You got to move that that tower again. So I had to find something else to put it on. So today, if I go into the Salvation Army, I'm going to look around in that metal stuff. I just hope there's some kind of little metal stand sitting there where I can lift it up off the ground. I don't want it to be on the ground. One thing, all the insects and things on the ground and to my back. I want it up where I can work with it. I'm almost getting to the point where I wish I'd never opened that thing up and started using it to use it, But I know once I get it going, I'll be glad I put it together and put dirt in it and all. I know I will. But anyway, that's what I'm up to. And I've got the 2 barrels I'm using instead of buying one of those expensive Virgo boxes. That's what those are out there. I couldn't remember their name. Virgo boxes, and they're not cheap at all. I mean, if the Virgo company would give me one, then I'd stand there and say how wonderful they are, and they're affordable. So I just thought, well, what can I use? I love a bathtub. I don't have a bathtub. Well, how about taking a open doorless refrigerator and use it for, nah, that doesn't, no. My husband's like, oh, no, please don't. I'm just, and then I thought, oh, what about some whiskey barrels? Oh, yeah. He likes that old redneck country stuff. And, oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can find, I'll call in. I'll go see. So he runs over to his son's house, and his son has to be the award-winning redneck in the South. He really does. If you hear him talk and you get around him, you're like, oh, yeah, that's him. And he knows how to recycle. He knows how to get what he wants. If he knows something, with his job, he picks things up on the side of the road like I do. And he's like, okay, I'll call around and find it for her, man. He's busy, and he sends it to me. And sure enough, that's where I got these $10 barrels that I'm going to go back and tell him I want to give you more money for them. But anyway, I done lost my train of thought. Anyway, I got these 2 barrels now. I got to fill up. I'll probably put in the bottom, I don't know what I'll put in the bottom, maybe some firewood or something in the bottom to bring them up. Leaves, grass, I don't know. I got to bring them up. It cost me an awful lot to fill those barrels up just to plant, It'd be cheaper to buy the vegetables at the grocery store, you know, till I got them full. So, but I'm gonna try to, planting them, get them planted. It may be late vegetables, but that's okay. Late second go round. But yeah, um, I've had barrels before, and they've grown stuff pretty good. You know, I had one barrel years ago, and I grew geraniums in them. I didn't do anything else. And then I took it and put plastic in it and tied it around with wire real tight, and I made a water garden out of it. For fish, put fish in there, put a little bubbler in there, and it made a cute little water uh, pond, a little pond. And but that's what I'm up to. So I'll probably get back with y'all about what I get at the thrift store, and I'll show y'all the mess I get up to with that tower and those barrels. I'm glad I have them. Why does everything have to be so complicated? That's all that I don't like is the complicated, but figure it out. But anyway, I guess I better go. I've just yacked without a break here, you know. Talk too much. Um, but I'm going to let y'all go, and I'll get back with y'all later. Who knows what I'm going to do. Uh, so I'll talk to y'all later, and thank y'all so much. I enjoyed hearing about your experiences with your family with rain. What happened when it rained. Uh, that was interesting. How we're all different, but we're the same. So, okay, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye bye.